Transition and appointment set. What do you do when the conversation is kind of starting to fizzle out, but you can tell there's still a little hesitation, and if you were to try to set the appointment, it probably wouldn't go too well? Here I'm going to show you how to transition to the side of the house, to the electric meter, backyard, electric, whatever it is. We're going to transition our conversation to change the context, and by doing that, we're also going to be able to relieve the sales pressure and the tension that's starting to build, and then we're going to have another opportunity to go deeper into the pain and the problem that our potential customer might be facing. So our transition, there are 3 transitions that on the doorstep after our intro, our two-way dialogue, there are 3 transitions that I tend to use on the doorstep. The first one I'll go to is transitioning to a new location just to continue the conversation. It keeps the conversation from getting stale. It creates some entrainment and followership, and it helps relieve some buying pressure. For whatever reason, it helps alleviate that tension. And so I'll transition maybe to the side of the house. We'll look at the meter together. We'll go look at the electrical panel. We'll transition to the backyard. We'll go look at the roof. We'll look at the shading and some trees. Or we'll just move out of the house. Whatever it is, we'll move to a new location to help alleviate that tension and pressure. So transition to the meter to change the context and relieve buying pressure. Sometimes I'll just transition straight into the house to run the appointment right then and there. Sometimes I'll do that right after going to the meter and then into the house, right? Or I'll transition to setting the appointment for later. So let's break down, how do we do all 3 of these? Your transition, basically what you're going to say with your transition is, from what you've told me, it seems like we could possibly help, but I'd have to check a few more things just to be sure. So when do you transition? Well, if you feel like bringing up the appointment, but there's still some hesitation, transition to the side of the house or a new location to keep the conversation going and keep looking and helping them and yourself understand their situation and how they feel about it. If you have established a clear problem and how they feel about it and that they want to change it, then just straight transition into the house, or sometimes that doesn't work. You'd have to just transition to setting an appointment for later. So your formula for transitioning. First, you're going to take away your solution. We're going to take it away. We just went over that in the last video. Check it out. Take it away. Give them a purpose statement or a reason for our visit, and then we'll disqualify with a situation question until, or sometimes I'll be replaced with asking for the appointment and setting it. So taking away, like I said, I'm not the final say. I could say yes, you could say yes, but if they say no and the application gets denied, you'll just have to keep buying your power at the expensive rates from the power lines. My job's not to change anything right now, even though lowering the bill could help. This is like a 3 to 5 week process. There are a few things that could disqualify you. Now we're going into our purpose statement. Like I said, I just do the assessments and then they'll kick you back a report. And if it helps, I can walk you through the application you can submit to see if they'll lower the bill. My job's just to see if the property is even eligible for a lower rate. I just do a quick survey to see if you could even produce your power on site and avoid the delivery and transmission fees. Takeaway, purpose statement, and then if we're transitioning to the side of the house, we're going to disqualify with a situation question. If we're transitioning to setting an appointment, then we will go for the appointment. So, like I said, I'm not the final say. I just do the assessment to see if the property could even be eligible. There are a few things that could disqualify you. Your meter, what type was it? Was it an analog or a digital meter? Or your electric service, was it 100 amp or 200 amp service? Okay, can you show me that real quick? And your electric bill, were you on the tiers or the time of use? And your rate was, okay, let's take a look at that as well. How much power did you, okay, cool. Your roof, how old is it? All right. Or if I was going for the appointment, or maybe we're already at the meter, we're doing this, and then I'm going to transition to the appointment. Yeah, like I said, I'm not the final say. My job's not to change anything right now. I just run a quick assessment. They'll kick me back a report, and then I can share that with you. You'll have to work with me. I have a lot of people to visit. What is your schedule like? Do you work during the days? Okay, cool. This is Ashton Buswell, right? It works best for me before 12 or after like 7 or 8. What is your schedule typically like? And then I'll ask them about their calendar when we'll set the appointment. I got this one from Nick Nascimento, dude. This guy, he tells me, he says, yeah, I'll be here if you're lucky sometime between 6 and 9 p.m. And I need you to be flexible with me. I have so many people that I have to go by. Basically, you're on backup. And if I have time, I'll come by in that window. And he holds that status. And I mean, he books like 6 appointments in one evening. So if one falls through, he's good. So however you go into setting the appointment, from there, right, we're going to take it away, tell them why we're setting the appointment, tell them, even mention a benefit. If they say no, or if we can get them to say yes, then they would just lower the bill. It's cool. Hope it works out. Sometimes it doesn't. I'll stop by and get that report to you, right? And then we roll right into it. Set the appointment, rock and roll.